Good afternoon. Welcome to Weather God's Wisdom. We're tracking a little system here in the Gulf that I thought was, worthy of mentioning at least because of its proximity to the coast and cover everything that really is, threatening the coast. This isn't too strong and is not really expected to become too strong, but, with these smaller systems, they can develop a little quicker. And so I thought it would be worth mentioning. Today. As always, these thoughts are mine alone. I'm not a certified meteorologist. Still working on that degree, and I refer you to the National Hurricane Center, your local National Weather Service office, and your local officials regarding any official information on this little system. It's not an invest yet, but it may get designated later today, and I'm kind of wanting to look at it while we still have some sunlight on this system. So anyway, let's get into this. Okay, so what we're watching right now is this little kind of batch of thunderstorms in a mid-level circulation that you can see here on visible. You can see some evidence of turning in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And this is kind of due to it has emerged off of the Louisiana coastline, and it has been part of this stalled front that has been draped across the northeastern Gulf of Mexico and has stretched all the way off your screen here and has actually spawned another tropical cyclone, Tropical Depression 5. But as you can see, this is not really threatening land. It's moving out to sea, and this is our system that we're watching in here. And what is to note of the National Hurricane Center forecast is that they only give this a 20% shot at developing over the next 48 hours because it won't be running into land within that time. But as it reemerges over the Gulf Stream waters, it has a 40% chance of developing over the next 5 days before, eventually hitting colder waters, because there are colder waters up in this area once you cross the Gulf Stream. And so it would then lose development potential and would likely become post-tropical. Okay, so hold on. This is the water vapor shot of the area that it is in, and you can see there's some dry air to the south of the system, and it is drawing in some of that dry air. It's not really too powerful of a lower level circulation to be bringing in all of this dry air, but there is dry air nearby. You can see that little bit of an orange tint to some of these colors here, and you can tell that that is beginning to shrink a little bit because of the amount of thunderstorms that are developing. And if you go back to the satellite shot, you can see that there's pretty agitated cumulus clouds in here, and you can see a lot of these thunderstorms are beginning to collapse, and kind of you see this very potent outflow boundary that's coming out from one of the bigger storms, and you can see that that has actually moistened the environment up a little bit. If you look at the water vapor imagery as well, you can see that the orange tint kind of goes under here, and so this may have a shot at developing. It would really have to develop a lower level circulation in order for that to happen. And you can see right now on the western side of the storm, there's not really a whole lot of southward movement, and not a whole lot of turning on this side. It's just all, again, mid-level circulation. But if it can translate that down, we could have a brief spin up, and we could have a little bit of a tropical depression in here, maybe a tropical storm. I doubt a tropical storm, probably. It doesn't have enough time. But regardless, this is going to bring enhanced rainfall to the Florida Panhandle. The northern third of Florida will likely be experiencing a lot of rain from this system. And as this kind of moves out into the Carolinas area and gets out over the Gulf Stream, it probably has a better shot at getting a little stronger here. But as of right now, there's not a whole lot of lower level circulation that's going on in here. There's just kind of general winds are out of the southwest on the southern side, and it kind of just is like a like 2/3 of a circle here that you can see the winds are just kind of on the lower levels that are just kind of barely spinning in here. But there is strong enough convection to maybe lower pressures and maybe get something going in here. But I just wanted to mention this because it will be bringing a lot of rain to the southeast, and it is worth mentioning. So anyway, that's all. As always, refer to your local officials, refer to the National Hurricane Center for the latest on this system. It's not designated as an invest yet, so I don't really have any good floater imagery on it, but it's still worth mentioning. And as always, have a good evening and stay safe.